Mm, hello? Hello? Everything's good? Can you hear now? Sound. Hello, NK. And hello, Grass. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for say hi to me. Yes, I can, unfortunately. Well, you can leave if you want. I'm not paying you to to stay. I'm not paying you to. I'm not forcing you to watch me. You are free for now. How you doing, MK? You good? You are making Bodger cry with your editings? Hi, Joy. I need to do some content. I cannot stay on school 24 hours a day, even though it is possible to do that without any issue. You can totally be on school 24 hours a day and it's still not enough with the amount of posts and help requests there is in there. It's crazy. Buongiorno. You're not working? Why you're not working? You don't have anything to fix? You don't have any content to put out? What I got here, I got a Nintendo Switch from a customer, which has been left unused since December, and he tried to turn it on and is not powering on. And I found a shirt. Yeah, I found a shirt because of, you can probably see. Can you see? Hello, Matt. I wonder if he knew about this. Because this console, for some reason, I don't know from where, because this is a very specific spot, okay, up in this corner. And is liquid damage. A very nice spot of liquid damage. Ah, the nastiness. And there is some over here too on the fuel gauge. Bad. This is bad. This is proper bad. This is not a work, even because there is a burn mark. Let me switch on the microscope and let's go under the microscope. No, port is only looking dirty from the outside shell, so it's not because of that. I don't think it's entered liquid from the port because the sticker is in perfect condition. Hi, Ruben. Okay, let's check under the microscope. The magnificent microscope. And let's have a look. Yeah, this is proper nasty. And there is a burn mark, as I mentioned before. This is a burn mark. Yeah. I don't know if there is something still good in this console. I measured on the M92 and all seems fine. Even the APU cap, which is good, but everything else can be bad anyway, because this is the 3.3 volt regulator for any other part of the console. So it's going to the Wi-Fi, it's going to inside the APU anyway. It's going in a lot of places, even on the Max chip up there. And the port, yeah, port is only dirty. This is dirt. It's not liquid. Obviously, is hard dirt, I would say. Maybe, you know. Yeah. This one, yes. Oh, you can see this capacitor. Look at this capacitor. Haha. I bet if I remove this capacitor, it will be no short on the BQ because I checked. So basically, I done this. I put on diode mode. Checking on the M92 in diode mode. Which, by the way, I was concerning about this. You know, it was suspicious. And in fact, on the other side, there is a liquid damage. So again, so this is looking. Did I have? No, I have on resistance. Sorry. Diode mode. In diode mode, everything is looking fine. 50 there, 30 to 48, 32. This is fine. This is 44. This is 38, which is fine. This is 42, and the CPU cap is 34, which is totally normal. Then I have this capacitor, which is 41. This is ground. This one is having 58 and 65, which is fine. This one is ground and 58. So everything is fine on the M92. But if we go look on the BQ area, I discovered immediately there was a short in here just because I measured the first capacitor. First capacitor is somehow linked to this one. So I would expecting a value of more than 30. Hello, JFix. More than 30 and is not. So it's 18. So it's low. And then I immediately checked this and it was 0. So a complete short. If I go in resistance mode and I check this, is 0, basically 0. And my leads are 0.1, I think. Yeah, 0.1. So I have 0.34. Yeah, 0.5. So it's basically a short. And of course, this is the reason. This is the reason of that short. Probably is because of this capacitor. This capacitor can be bad because this is linked to the main power rail, which is coming from BQ, and this is ground. And this is the output of the chip, which is supposed to be 3.3 volt. I can check on resistance mode, and resistance mode is fine. So it is good. We probably have a simple short and corrosion, and that's it. So this capacitor died, and something need to be cleaned there, and that is it. Oh, and the fuel gauge. Yeah, fuel gauge also have some issue. Yeah. So this console at some point had liquid damage. So I need to let the customer know. Me, RVNR will help us to pass the time. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to help you in this. So I need to reflow this basically. I'm sure every chip is fine. I mean, the console was put away when the console was off, so the battery is still showing 3.8 volt, but it was not going out any power because of that short circuit. So BQ is fine, and BQ protected the other part of the circuits. So I'm assuming it's totally fine just by cleaning. Replacing that capacitor, which is looking totally burned, probably is even cracked, and that is it. Okay, so IPA, yeah, look at the state. IPA and a brush, my trusty brush, which I used for the past 10 years. And this chip need also to be reflowed to have all the stuff coming out from under it. Possible a reball. There is a small chip. The flux should work fine. By removing the oxidation that is under. So we have this part that is completely corroded away. We don't care because now the path is interrupted. And there is yeah, it's cracked. Yeah, it's totally cracked. Very, very closely we can look. Yeah, it is cracked. You can see it's having a crack on top there. So by removing this, reflowing a couple of chip, this console should work. All right. Removing the IPA, so it will be totally clean, and it will not bubble because of the IPA when I come with the hot air. A little bit of flux. And by the way, I'm starting preparations for shop in UK with the help of Bodger. So Bodger will help me in distributing stuff for micro soldering and soldering and replacement parts for consoles and potentially even computers, so laptop in UK. So I will supply him with the needed parts, and he will ship them directly from UK under my name, basically. So if you need any, if you are in UK and you need any specific stuff, let me know. in the comment or in Discord, and I can try to supply. Obviously, I cannot sell leaded solar because UK government doesn't allow it. Unfortunately, I would love to give leaded solar, but at least I can give low melt solar. You know, I can give low melt solar, which is something. I will not supply unleaded solar because that is crap. There is a limitation only because, as far as I know, UK government is not allowing privates to have leaded solar because it's considered dangerous, a dangerous product. But if you are under a company name, I then might provide you, but I will not anyway, because I'm not in resident in UK, and I don't want to cause Bodger any issue in that, so any risk has to be on my side, not on him side. He's only a reseller under my name. Okay, now I remove that cap, that capacitor, and I want to see now if the BQ have resolved. No, private customers. No private parts. You silly. Okay, let me see. I am in resistance mode. Let me see now. Yeah. Now that capacitor was shorted, and now released. There is no more short. So yeah, you can buy from Amazon, but I'm trying to supply, stuff that normally is not on Amazon. And Amazon, unfortunately, okay, is getting expensive. And I can source stuff for cheaper, and I can sell you for cheaper, of course. Where is the area? Okay, so let's get some more flux in here. I will replace that capacitor after, but now I want to reflow that chip, or potentially even this is not yeah. Yeah, I was trying to see. Yeah, one ball has now got bigger because they joined together. I was trying to see if anything was looking okay under it, which it does. So, happy days. Now I can simply do one thing also. How is looking this one? This one is looking okay. I have maybe just a tiny bit up there that I need to clean, which is probably better. Obviously, I'm not trying to sell electrical tools, okay? So no, I'm not going to sell, soldering irons or hot air stations, because at that point it is absolutely cheaper to get them from factories, from AliExpress, or whatever. I try to supply, you know, parts like ports, HDMI port, USB port, USB-C port, and stuff like that, in a even chip. So even this chip, okay, this chip or any capacitor or whatever resistor, which is normally present on a console board. Okay, I need to do it like that, and I will not do a reball. I will do the soaring method. Hi Turan, hi Bodger, balls, yes. Yeah, I would need to do warranty on them, which is not something I would feel comfortable, you know, because it's not my product. So I will supply tools that are not requiring power. Okay, so whatever. I could maybe, you know, even for this one, okay, the amp meter. Okay, that is something is electrical, but is something that I can provide because it's cheaper enough to get a new one if it's not working. Okay, but no power drill, no soldering station, no hot air stations, no grinding pens or whatever. Just flux, solder mask, maybe UV lamps. That can be a thing. It's still electrical, but it's a small device. Okay, now I will do one thing. I will place it on top and then I will squeeze. The soaring way. So we know that even without reballing, the chip will have, yeah, even balls. Now it's all perfect. We squeeze out the solder, the excess solder, in this case, from the edges. Flux will help in leaving the ball equals. PCB magnetic boards, yes, exactly. So now this chip is kind of reballed, okay, with all the same size of are you talking about the reballing method, Joy? Yeah, you can learn something. Yeah, look, the balls are equal. There are no bridges because the excess solder has coming out on the sides. Just a little squeeze, so the chip can sit flush against the board with equal balls at that point. Magic, huh? For small BGA chip, you can do that. You can totally do that. Let me zoom in now because I want to get more close. Yeah, look, the chip is even. Is now squeezed down on more on one side than the other, and every ball under it now are perfectly fine. Where is the chip now? Yeah, look, it's perfectly fine. Obviously, we can try a few things anyway, so we can be sure. Hey, slot. Yes. So for backlight IC, for fuel gauge, I would not recommend for the Max IC because that is a pretty important chip, which is having a lot more balls. Okay. But for stuff like this, so 9 balls, 12 balls, it can work. It can work totally fine. It can work even on bigger chips, okay? Even CPU or GPU or chipset. It will work, okay? Even easy chip on laptop, but I would not recommend that if you are not soaring, okay? But now I need to reflow this chip, and I can, you know, simply squeeze. Obviously, I will clean. And just a simple reflow in this case will do, because the flux will be in the way of whatever substance there was in there. So it will free up whatever it was under. So there is no need to remove the chip and replace the chip and squeeze the chip, you know. Good. Now some flux. And a little reflow. And I can probably do a reflow just not even by touching it, because the fuel gauge is normally dancing on me. Yeah. It is dancing on the hot air. Perfect. So the airflow is just enough to make it dance and move on its own without touching. Yeah, I still have this component. This capacitor is not looking so good, but it's still there. Probably just a bit of a cleaning can do. Again, brush. Here we go. Nice. Everything is clean. And now I think we can test the console and see what is happening. I think clean the port maybe a bit. Overhead. Nice. So checking again for that specific spot in diode mode. On the coil now is 0.3 as expected, and on the other point now is 0.3 as expected. So everything is good. I will do few last checks, data plus and data minus for the CPU, the APU, and I will do the CC lines 43, 43, and then I will go for the P13 lines, which they are totally fine. Okay. Obviously need a clean even in the case. Let me do that real quick. We can go dry because aluminum doesn't corrode. It does oxidize, but not corrode in the normal meaning we intend to. Now fitting back. Moving the antenna, the cable from under. So now I need to fit the LCD first. Easy. Now the power. The backlight. The antennas. And everything else. Game reader. Magnesium? I think it's aluminium, not magnesium. No, wait. If it was magnesium, it would be dangerous, no? Because magnesium is a highly reactive metal with water and stuff. So no. I don't think it's magnesium at all. It is saying like the what is called the lithium. Magnesium is another metal that is having some sketchy stuff, but I totally don't know, so don't quote me on that. So battery voltage is, it was 3.8 before and is 3.5 now. Okay, let me check now if I have voltage out on the BQ. Do I have voltage out? Yes, I do. But it's fluctuating a lot. It should be very stable, to be honest. So I don't know what is going on. You can see even 3.2, 3.52, 3.53, 3.50 is bouncing all over the place. I don't know. We can still have some issues about the corrosion thing on the fuel gauge. There is a possibility. But now we can plug power more safely using the meter, the chip meter, and see what is happening. Oh wait. Wait. There is something that is super hot under there. Yeah, the APU is mad hot. The APU is mad hot. And I don't even plug the power. Was super heating. Wow. This console, I think, is super dead. Luckily, there was only the battery plugged in. But that 3.3 volt regulator is going even under the APU. And even if that took a hit, even at 3.3 volt, is still a huge amount of power that can go into the APU. Let me see. I think this is not good for the customer. You have to buy another console. And he already asked if I was having another console. And I said yes. Luckily, I have a refurbished tablet available, so he can have a new one in case there is something wrong with this. Okay, let me check a few stuff. Going under the microscope again. We need to be sure about this. So I can see maybe one thing, but I don't know if that matter, because this one is maybe touching, but this is flux. Inside there is flux, but I want this coil to be a bit more in its place. Yeah, here we go. So it will be better. I didn't have the PCB attached to my microscope. Is the light. I custom built my own light for the microscope. I can do that. And is well protected, obviously. And is a low power. It's only 12 volt, so it will not cause any issue. All right, let me check now because this chip might be dead and can leaking 5 volt or whatever voltage into this side and causing issue. In diode mode, let me see in diode mode. I want to see this side. This side is 0.28. Wow, the APU is still super hot. But I went with the hot air too, so. And this side is 0.3. So 0.29 and 0.29. 293. 293. Oh my goodness. It is shorted. Input and output is shorted. You can see. So this chip has to be replaced. It's dead. Well, we live, we learn. Now I need a new chip. Where can I find a new chip? Where can I find a new chip? Or it can be that one ball under is totally shorted, even if I squeezed it. I should have checked, but normally it's a pretty straightforward process. So now everybody is properly, size. Let me see again. So I want to try again with the balls in this state. They are very small, so they cannot short physically because there is not much solder to carry on to the next pad. Okay, you can see has gone in its place. Now even the coil. Obviously, I am just making sure, okay? So again, output and input. Are they shorted now? No. So it was a ball under. Okay. Nice. Squeeze too hard. Don't squeeze too hard. I've not the cap at the top. Which one? Well, this one. This one is fine. Even this one is totally fine. So now we don't have any short from input to output. Okay. This is very important. We have 25 mega ohm. But the battery was low. It was not full, so only it was giving only what 3.5 volt, which is totally fine. Instead of 3.3, is not that much. Okay, we can again inspect this line in diode mode. 0.29, 0.29. The board is still hot because I use hot air. Let me cool down the board. Hi DIY Repair. Welcome to the stream. And the board is vanished. I have enough fan beside me and I'm cooling down the PCB on the fan. Yeah, we still have hope. Possible. Okay, it is warm. Now, where is the heat? It's in the center. Okay, we'll go down there for the PCB, so you will not be you don't see anything, but you can look at the meter. Now it's 32. It's going higher. 33 in there. Okay, so it's looking good. We can go check some stuff again. We can check now the 3.3 again in diode mode. 36, which is good. We can check the 1.8, 33, the 1.35, 44, and I guess the other ones in resistance mode. This one, it should be 10 ohm, 40 ohm, okay. On the newer models, it is lower. And this one is 160 ohm, which is fine. Totally fine. Turns out Meta controllers work better with batteries. Hi, Joes. Joes. I am fine. I am fine, and I will be more fine if I'm able to fix this console. If I see this console turning on. That is the plan for today. Again, the screen connector. Nice. No, it's not proper nice. Need to enter a bit more in this side. Nice. Now it's nice. And this one. And the backlight. And for now, nothing else. Maybe this antenna battery, because it can go in random places we don't want. The reader. Everything is fine. I will plug power now. Everything seems normal. Now we can check for the voltage. Which is 3.8, stable. Okay. And now if we go check on the output, it's 3.8, stable. Nice. Do you think it will start? I will try to power on by the battery, not by the power, so by the charger, because if something happens, at least the battery is dropping the voltage, and the BQ chip obviously is able to stop the power if there is something catastrophic happening. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Hey, we got a win for now. Is it going to boot normally or giving me errors? It's probably giving me error. It's hanging a lot. Or it's not booting, probably. Yeah. Yeah, we have picture, but we don't have the full boot. Now the console is hanging on the second logo. I don't think it is a fuel gauge stuff, nor the 3.3. But I think since the console has been stored for a long time, I say this console has been stored away since December, so it's 6-7 months. The NAND without any power, it can have been corrupted, you know, because NANDs like to be corrupted. But luckily, I think this one is a not patched model, so I can run the Hecate and do maybe a recovery for the operating system. Yeah, it's not booting at all. Okay, we'll switch off. No errors, no nothing. Maybe there is a issue with the reader. Even this one can be caused by the reader. So let's remove the reader. Maybe I didn't see anything properly. The temperatures are fine. Or we are missing some other area with the liquid damage. Who knows? So I remove the reader now. Obviously battery is still plugged in. Reader is there. Hi Sotseg. Hi Rassi. Time to mod it. No, I will not mod it because it's a customer console. I will ask the permission just in case. Okay. When there is no reader, it's normal to hang on the second logo for a bit longer if that is the issue. But apparently this is not the issue. So this is not a reader issue. Well, we fixed one problem, but not all the problems. But I will not do a stream. Face reveal, no, never. I will do a face reveal when I have a proper lab. Nah, it's hanging. I think it's because there is a corrupted user partition or something like that. There is a possibility of that. Because unfortunately, NAND really like to corrupt themselves. when they don't have power going through for a long period of time. And that is a big issue. That is a big issue, in my opinion, because you cannot leave a console shut off for a month because you can have those problems. It's insane. Oh, a glimpse of reflection. Could be APU related. Normally not. And I would tell you this because the APU is displaying an image only if everything else is okay. If it's not okay, obviously it will get a kernel panic display. So like blue screen, purple screen, pink screen, yellow screen, whatever screen, you know, is displaying something. I hate beat. If there is a board level issue, like a short or somewhere, you know, obviously it will not turn on. Check voltage of a 3.3 volt output. Should be fine though. Why do you ask, Ben? Well, the 3.3 volt regulator was corroded because it was liquid damage, but I fixed it, and now it's turning on. Do you think it's because of the 3.3 volt regulator? And where do I check on this side? I need to open the board view. No, it was not 3.3 that was unstable before. It was the main output JFix. It was the one that is supposed to take the battery voltage. So if the battery voltage is 4 volt, you should see 4 volt. But because of that little short on the 3.3 volt rail, it was fluctuating. Next to M92. Oh, okay. On the lower capacitor or the higher capacitor? Wait. I will go to the microscope. I think it's the lower one, which is connected to the P13 chip. Wait, the smaller one, no? So this one, right? Am I right? Is it still on? No, it's not on. Okay, let's check the voltage then on that point. We are already in voltage. And if we go check into that spot, which is kind of difficult although, we don't have any voltage for now, okay, because it's turned off. I will turn on the console now. Now the console is on. And it's 3.3 volts stable. So it's perfectly fine. .3 volt short. And here we have the battery voltage, obviously, because this is the input. No, this is the input from the charger. So we don't have any voltage there. We have 3.3 even there. But I'm assuming this is the LDO for the M92. And we have 0 volt there, 1.5, 2.7, 2.8, and 1.5. So there is no issue in that, and it's still locked on the second logo. I'm pointing more toward the software issue because unfortunately we know that Switch console like to be software corrupted. They really like to be software corrupted. Can you shut off yourself, please? Sometimes is also the Wi-Fi chip that can cause this issue. Maybe the Wi-Fi chip, since it's powered by the 3.3 volt, got a hit. We can check under the. Yeah, we can. Maybe there is a liquid damage under the dish the shield. No, it's not. There is nothing. No, it's super clean. It is super clean. I don't know if the Wi-Fi IC is good, but I can surely take out, because it's not necessary for the boot. The problem is, how can I test the Wi-Fi chip? Because we have 3.3. Maybe by heat. I don't feel any heat, but right now the console is off, obviously. I can surely take out the Wi-Fi chip, but at that point I need to reball it and make sure it's working properly. I don't know. Do you have any other suggestions, guys? Because I basically connected the bare bones, so only the screen and the battery. There is nothing else that can cause other issues. Liquid damage has been solved. I can maybe inspect some more. Maybe I missed some obvious spots. I can do that. Let's inspect. Ciao. Ciao dalla Sardegna, grazie. Caldo là? Fa caldo là? I had two consoles, one of them was Wi-Fi SC, there was a crack. And other was APU related, I think. As I said, normally APU is not the issue, simply because it's powering on, okay? When the APU is powering on the device, it will not cause any issue. So, board inspection, we might lost some important details. Let me know if you notice something. Obviously this, no, it doesn't matter. Probably was a scratch from my tweezer. Yeah, it's pretty hot then, huh? Ma in Sardegna di solito non è che sia così tanto umido, mi pare, no? C'avete anche il vento, come cavolo si chiama? Non lo ricordo. Di solito quello porta via un bel po' di umidità. Hi JM, Yes, but the unit I've had was freezing during boot into Linux or Android. Ah. What about maybe it was a RAM issue at that point. If it was freezing, you know, that could be the issue. Could have been the issue. So I cannot see any other potential liquid il maestrale, Solito siete abbastanza ventilati voi. Non come qua nella pianura padana che c'è solo una cappa di calore, ci sono 35 gradi come se fossero 80 e non passa un filo d'aria. Nothing, literally nothing. Have you seen something, guys, that I didn't notice? So we check this one. The fuel gauge is good because otherwise the console will not turn on, or it will display the first logo and then turn off because it doesn't know the battery voltage. So BQ I think is totally fine. No BQ, the fuel gauge is totally fine. Yeah, it's looking good to me also, which is very, very strange. And I'm going slow just for everybody to potentially see any issue. Because there are some other channels that go around board inspections that they are so fast I cannot even see what they are doing. If there is a missing component or stuff, how they can tell? Maybe they are used to those type of boards, but man, slow down. No, it doesn't need Pico this revision. Is an unpatched console, so I can run I can totally run Hecate without the need of Pico installation. And I will reckon it will start on Hecate because it's showing the logos. I can probably try Atmosphere to see if it's showing any error. That can be a possibility. You think it's fuel gauge related? Okay. Anyway, good to check the entire board and see. Okay, so no, there is no other spots, basically. Only those two. There were the 3.3 volt regulator, which is fine now. And well, obviously I can replace those two capacitor, but it doesn't matter the condition, you know. And nothing else. I don't know. There was supposed something there, Ben. Do you know? Do you have a? No, I don't think so. Right? It was a line. Let me have a look. Let me have a closer look. Because there is corrosion there, and you can see there was maybe a track going level 1 and brick. Yeah, I agree. This can be a level 1 and brick console. So you can see there was a track. But I don't know if there was supposed to be anything in there. You can see there is the line there. Maybe from there to there, I don't know. And now it's corroded. I need to see another. Oh, is that a track? Okay. I will check on one of my donor board that I have is a same revision. Just to be sure. Where is it? CPU 10, CPU 10, CPU 01. Here we go. So I can see if it was at least, you know, something in there that is supposed to be connected. Yeah, this is why I was looking. Ah, see? The track is connected. So it is going somewhere. But I don't know if maybe that is the issue. Let me rotate the board. And I want to go very, very close. Very, very close. Is it close enough? No, I want to go even more down. Even more down. Even more down. Yes, like this. Now this is proper down. So there's supposed to be a track going in that direction, which now is probably interrupted totally and need to be restored. Capacitor doesn't matter for now. I will try to restore this via and see what is happening, but I need my little Dremel to see. Yeah, the copper is completely gone. Okay. Copper is completely gone and I need to be careful. Because I almost took the resistor away. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. So we have the trace. Sì, ce l'ho la penna in fibra di vetro. Fiberglass pen. Ma le ho già provate su cose di questo genere, non ce ne vengo fuori, sai. Ci ho già provato, è troppo lungo come lavorazione, eccetera. Fiberglass pen is an option, but it's too long. Resistor GG? No, resistor is fine. No, it's just we We just shaved it a little bit, but it's totally fine, guys. Don't worry about the resistor. Don't worry about it. Still healthy, you know? There's no problem in that. So, now we need flux. Now we need jumper wire. Imagine if that was the issue. Shave like a bomber, yeah. So I need the tiniest tip possible. I was thinking about something this one, like this, which is, you know, you need solder paste. No, I don't need solder paste. I will never use solder paste. Don't. How am I supposed to say this? Don't nominate solder paste in vain in this channel. Is a banned word. So, what do you guys think? Should I use this one? Okay? Or this one? Choose number 1 or number 2. The next person who talk about solder paste, Bodger, you have the right. You have the right to kick for 1 minute the whoever says solder paste again. No, it's fine. It's fine. I will use this one. Obviously, the other one is too big. Okay, I can use that one. I can use that one. Yeah, good thing, DIY repair. Solder paste is used for BGA works, okay, on the proper stencil, or in factories when they need to, you know, build the PCBs. So they have a proper stencil for the PCB pads. Okay, they cover the stencil with the solder paste. They will spread the solder paste, and every pad have the perfect amount for the components. They will fit the components. They will heat up the entire PCB, and every component will go in its place like magic. That is the proper use of the solder paste. There is no other use. If you use solder paste for a job like this, it will go messy, will go all over the place, and it's not good. Nice. So I will use some solder, some nice solder. If I turn on the iron though, it will be better. I do BGA with only balls. Yeah. If you can do only with balls, I can also do with paste, but I'm more experienced and I know what I want. Now tinning this one. Yeah. Ben, are you still there? Where is the line going? Do you have a clue? Because this is the input line from the battery. So this is the main line. But I don't know if this one is coming from that via to the 3.3
or is coming from somewhere else. Maybe there is a hidden via under the chip or under this pad probably, and then is going to somewhere else, which is not feeded at that point. Yeah, that can be a possibility. Okay. Wire. We need copper wire. 0.1 millimeter copper wire. Yeah, I do too. I do if I need to repair some vias under a BGA chip, for example. I'm using a solder ball. I will fit a solder ball in the via. I will obviously solder it, and then at that point I will place the BGA on top. Nice. So I need to basically do this. So can you please go in your place? You don't want to, huh? Come on. No, I don't want to. And I'm at 400 degrees, but this is a big plane. So it's hard to deal with. It's not a ground plane, but it's still not... Okay, we'll try like this for now. C245, yes. It is a C245 tip. And iron, of course. Nice. So I will come with some more solder and more flux. This flux is helping a lot. And see if I can add some solder in that. Yes, that is a nice joint. And now placing some solder in there for a better, stronger joint. Like this one. Yes, nice. Yeah, probably I was right about the other tip, but obviously, and I would have not used it. Okay, ripping the wire now. Here we go. So now it should be fine. And I don't see any other issues. A bit of cleaning, huh? Yeah, probably is better. Microfiber cloth, which is not more a microfiber cloth because it's having so much flux inside. If I can squeeze it, I will fill another tube of flux. Probably. But it's still doing its job. Nice. So everything is fine now. is clean, and we can test it. We don't like bold resistors. Missing cap? No, there is no missing cap. Where is the missing cap? I didn't see any missing cap. We will replace that capacitor, this poor resistor. Yeah, I will replace it. Okay, but next time. And the capacitor, it will be replaced on the next video or live stream. Probably. I don't know. If I feel like. For now, it's good. For a test. Okay, mounting back the board. The screen LCD connector. And the power button. Nice. Now this should not give us any problem. Again, but don't quote me on that. We will see. Now battery. Feeling the temperature or of anything. BQ, M92, RAM. Everything is cool. We can give it a look for the voltage. So voltage again. The battery is 3.8. On the output is 3.8, which is fine. Now we can see if it is booting. So we know it's powering on, displaying a logo, second logo. Will it stay on this logo or switch and boot? No. Nope. Still an issue. Well, that part was a problem. It was a problem. And we solved that problem, but was not the problem. Still hanging. And I already know this customer don't want to pay a lot of money. That is a shame. So I will have to change the tablet with the other one. Only because of this liquid damage. Okay, we can check again for this when this is removed. Let's see if this have any impact at all for the boot. Yeah, you're right, DIY. We fix it. Why is not working? That was the issue. It was clear. Oh, I love Sorin. He is amazing. Yeah. Still not booting. All right. At this point, I would check. There is a possibility if I start in Hecate and run through Atmosphere, there is a possibility that the Atmosphere is able to produce an error, or maybe it's booting and it's showing me that the Wi-Fi is dead. There is a possibility. So let me. Where is my tool? Oh, probably on the other console. Yeah, because I was. So I need this one. I need that SD card with, of course, the SD reader. The original console SD reader in it. And I think, no, nothing else has. I don't need anything else plugged in. I can do this though. I can fit a couple of screws, so the board it will be safe in position, because we need to use the dongle. Oh, and we need to use this rail. Okay, yeah, I need to use this rail. Hecate will also tell one thing. Will also tell if there is an issue with the fuel gauge, because it will not display potentially the battery percentage or the temperature of the SoC, because the fuel gauge is running under the same line, the I2C line, I2C line or I2C line. Normally it should be I2C line. There's a communication protocol between the components, and if one of the components is faulty, is not communicating, so the console is hanging on any boot sequence. But I need the console, which I was trying to fix. Where is it? It's there, because the dongle is in there, and I need to do a recovery file, a recovery system on this console, which is taking me ages because customer want to save the data from this console, and so far it's not possible. There is no method that can keep you the files if you need a level 3 unbrick, unfortunately. So this one, poor thing is dead. Let me charge it like 5 minutes. Maybe a bad via. No, the via is now fixed. Is fine. Has nothing problematic. And that via we check on the on a donor board. It was connecting to that pad. Sometimes we'll boot even if original firmware is not working. Atmosphere, it will work just because is not checking the fuses, is not checking other stuff. I know I can dump the content from the corrupted NAND, but the problem is when it's corrupted, I cannot rebuild it and save also the files. Unless I probably do some tricks. Waiting for this to charge a bit, guys, because I don't use it often. How much? 1 hour and a half. We are live since 1 hour and a half. And how many people are in there? How many people are present in there? $18? Wow, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. 18 people are watching. Obviously, more than a half are lurking, basically, and using my voice as a background. We love you. Oh, thank you. Guilty for looking. Yeah, hi Frostbit. Okay, should be enough, at least for you know, one single boot. So powering on. Yeah, here we go. So Hecate is fine. It's booting. And I can see, oh, 0, 0. It's showing the percentage, but it's showing 0 on the temperature. Can you see? Yes, you can. Ah. So Ben was right. There is an issue with the fuel gauge. Potentially. So this is why the console is not booting. Because it doesn't see all the information of the console. Or in this case, the APU is bad and is not reporting the temperature, which is also a possibility. Because of that corrosion that happened. Yeah, God bless Hecate. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So we can power off. So the touchscreen is working. Nothing wrong with that. If there was an option for Hecate to test the Wi-Fi chip, it would be amazing. Without booting into the operating system. But I guess, oh, do we want to see to the battery info? Okay, I will do. No, I pressed the power button for, yeah. Now it will hang. Now it will hang. Okay, removing the battery so it will be faster. Placing the battery. Powering on again. No, I never doubted Ben. I know. But now, look, it was 49%, now it's 34%. Did you see this? This is crazy. Okay. Console info, battery, USB-C PDIC info, error. There is an error here.
I don't know what is supposed to be there. Maybe it's an M92 error. Yeah, it can be because it's not communicating. So the fuel gauge is not communicating. The PD controller, obviously USB PD is the M92. So I guess what do you want to do, Turan? Let's see. What do you want me to do? It lies. Yeah. I will go for I can go for semi-stock or even custom firmware. It doesn't matter, I think. I will see if it is booting with custom firmware. Time to replace the M92? You think so? But the readings are totally fine. The readings are good. Let's see with the custom firmware if it is booting or not. No, it's not. Should have been already booted or displaying an error. If there is an M92 error, it should be displaying the error. But the fact that it's not reporting even the temperature of the SoC is leading me to the fuel gauge more than the M92. Even because right now, if I plug and is displaying 15 volt, the M92 is fine. Okay. Remove the dongle, remove this. I will leave this in charge for now, so I can have for future jobs. Okay, disconnecting the battery. Do we care to see prod info right now? No. Prod info is only the information of the product itself. So it will say that this is a tablet with a black bezel, with a V1 digitizer or something like that. And that is the product info, basically. Hi, TFN. That area should show USB connected, disconnected, and what it's charging. Yeah, when it's charging. So you reckon that it was because there was no charging plugged in? But I can do now a safe plug without the battery and see what is happening. So it's powering on, and I have 15 volt at 0 amp, which is totally fine. If we switch the console on the other side, and it's 15 volt, 0.3, and 0. So it is totally fine. The M92, I reckon, is not the issue there. I don't think it's the issue there. I think it's the fuel gauge in this case, which might have still some corrosion under that prevent this stuff, prevent to working properly. Or it can be the fuel gauge is dead because of the corrosion. Yeah, can also be because of that. Oh, the two ribbons there. We don't want any ribbon.
We don't want that.
So again,
back to the fuel gauge. And see what is happening. Microscope. Here we go. Hi, Gamer Freaks. We are fixing a Nintendo Switch. Probably. We are trying. I am trying my best.
Nice. So I will remove the fuel gauge now. We'll see what is the
condition under it. Yeah, it's totally clean. It is properly clean.
Do you think it was an issue, the
chip itself at this point? I can still maybe there was something under it that was messing up the readings. It's looking fine. Okay, we'll add more new flags.
I like to double confirm the
theories. And you know what? The PCB is looking strange. PCB is looking strange. Again, very close. I want to inspect every part of the BGA. Can you see that one area is more lighter than the others? I wonder if there is something under it. It doesn't seem is bubbled.
And let me spray some IPA so
it will be better for reflection and stuff. Yeah, moisture was present. Oh, this cup, yeah. There was a liquid damage, Rassi. This console had the liquid damage before in the fuel gauge area. But I'm curious to why is more green in there and there's now more dark green. It's not looking like it's bubbled. This is the current sense. I don't know if it is going anywhere. Somewhere else apart from this point. Let me have a look on a board view. Wait there. Switchboards. HAC, switch gamepad, switch to, no, there is not this revision. I don't have a board view of this revision. But I can compare with the HAC CPU 10 maybe. Yeah, it's a possibility. Sorry, you can't see. Probably you can, right? No. There is nothing to see. Chip may be fine. Yeah. I can do that. Obviously, I would not do that on stream. DIY. So let me have a look. Maybe I can share this screen. So if I go up there and I will go and this one, but I will this one. Yeah. Let me make it bigger so everybody can see. Not too big. Okay, so everybody can see what I see. Yeah, here we go. Even the mouse. Nice. So here is the fuel gauge, and this is the point, basically, which is connected to this capacitor, this resistor, those two capacitors, that obviously, if we go back to the microscope, the two capacitors in there, they are in a different, no, it's a resistor and a capacitor, okay. Yeah, because, no. This is the ground plane, and obviously it's going to the ground plane. Let me go back to this one. Yeah, it's a different layout. It's a totally different layout. So anyway, we can still check something, okay? And no, it's not supposed to move this one. It's supposed to be moving the, okay, and it's going to the battery, and that's it. So it doesn't go anywhere else. I reckon, yeah. Beside this, there are the holes, the vias for the battery connector. Okay, so the layout is basically going in a spot like this, and there are the vias, which they are going in this side of the PCB, and then connected to the current sensor resistor and other stuff. So this is not going anywhere. It's not having any via under the chip. So I think we are safe. I can probably check the other two lines. Yeah, it is JFix, but I like this because it's allowing me to see both sides of the board simultaneously. So let me check in diode mode if I have any connection on those spots. Maybe there is one that is open line or something. Okay, let's have a look. On top one, we have 0.00, maybe on resistance. I don't know what is supposed to be there, to be honest, also. Now, if I put on resistance mode, it will show overload. But in diode mode, it was showing 0. Why? How? It's not supposed to, okay, let's check on the capacitor. No, now it's showing open. I don't know, maybe I was touching this one? No, not even. This one is open. This one is open. Am I having a good contact with the probe? Let me see. Okay, now we have good contact with the ground. Let's check again. So this side is ground, this side is nothing. I have nothing because the reading is coming from the fuel gauge. Okay, this side is 0. Now is 40. Okay, this side is 0 because it's connected to the current sensor resistor, and the current sensor resistor is on the ground, so it's the negative side. This one is having nothing because it's coming from the capacitor and the chip. This one is also ground. The middle pin is 50. This pin is having nothing. This pin is having 40. And this pin is having 32. So which one are the lines for the I2C? I don't remember. I totally don't remember. I need to look at the data sheet. Okay, let me have a look on a data sheet for a second. So max 70 050 17 050 050 data sheet. Or even pinout, maybe. Yeah, I can get for the pinout. Oh, there is a data sheet. Oh, nice. Nice. Where is the pinout? Give me the pinout. Here we go. Pinout. This one is the okay. SCL and SDA is the clock and data for the stuff. So it's supposed to be the top middle and the bottom left. Okay? Top middle and bottom left. And if I go back now, top middle, we were getting 50, yeah, 40. And bottom left, we were getting something. Yeah, we still have 0.4. So clock and data is present and is connected, so there is no issue in that. I can still obviously resolder back. Maybe there was an issue with the soldering since there were, corrosion under it. Where is the chip now? I lost the chip. I will find it, but I lost it. I lost the chip for now. It was near the board, and the board maybe grabbed it. No. Wait a second, guys. Technical difficulties, as usual, on my bench, because I'm not able to keep one thing in its position for more than 30 seconds. And I truly lost the chip. Wow. I will probably find it one day when I will clean my bench. but apparently it was saying us, nope, I don't want to work anymore, so grab another one, I'm done with you. Okay, guess I need to find another fuel gauge. Let's find another fuel gauge on my magic box, if I have so many chips. I'm like sorry, I have a box full of chips, a brand new chips. Those are all brand new chips. Which they probably work because they are brand new, but they can be defective. Who knows? Now I need to see which type of IC is this one. That will be fine. Here we go. We found this brand new IC. Let me switch on the other side and see what kind of IC is this. I already switched the image, Bodger. So this is, can you please? This is not a fuel gauge, this is a backlight IC. I can see a letter U. Yeah. UG, UF, U what? Are you sure you are up to the live, Bodger? This one? Is this one where is the, yeah, 7550, no, 17050. So this is a fuel gauge, a brand new fuel gauge from my box. We can now fit it I want to leave it like there. No, I want to move it in a safer place. There. Okay. So it is safer. It is in a safe position. Cleaning this stuff. Put in some flux. Where is my flux? Yeah, hello Dave. Put in some flux. Forming back the bolts. Here we go. Now we can take the chip. This is supposed to be the correct orientation, yes. Yes. And we need to clean it before. So let me clean it a little bit. Some IPA and a gentle brush. Very, very gentle. We don't want to lose it. Okay, it is fine. It is in the right orientation. How are the balls?
They are totally fine, to be honest.
Yeah, perfect balls. Look at that. They're super perfect. Okay. Orientation is correct. Balls are perfect. I can probably even remove those balls. Yeah, I can... Nah.
I will not do that. I will not do that. Right.
Now I need to keep this chip in position while I'm reflowing it. So keep the position without burning myself. Okay, I think is connected. Yes, it is.
Now reflowing a bit.
Here we go, jump into place.
Nice.
Oh, another thing I remember now. Because we saw the battery percentage was 50%, 49 really. And then it dropped down to 34% on the second turn on attempt with Hecate. It would have also suggested me the fuel gauge was faulty anyway, because it was not measuring correctly the battery voltage and percentage. So it might be you know, the misfortune of losing the chip. Maybe we lost a broken chip, and that was the problem from the beginning.
Nice. Now let's put it back. Let's put this back and see what is happening. What do you guys think? Will it work? Will it not work? Put your decision in chat. Type 1 if you think the console will work,
Or 2, 1 or 2.
What do you think? And I will probably do start up with Hecate first, just to confirm the fuel gauge has been installed properly. Because
Even if it is installed properly, I Korslo.
It can still have some other issues. So console will boot in original firmware, and did we solve the fuel gauge situation? I hope so. I know I can trust my magic box of brand new parts. But even brand new parts can be defective. Let me put back some screws as before.
has to work.
Has to work? My goodness. You don't know what type of console I receive.
They are never one fault. Never.
Okay. Battery plug-in. Now I need the stupid thingy. Not on this side, I need on the other side. Please go inside. Now the SSD. No, SSD. Yeah, SSD. On a Nintendo Switch. An SSD on a Nintendo Switch. Maybe. can be a really good upgrade. Who knows? An external SSD for Nintendo Switch consoles. Okay. Good. So, going into Hecate. Hecate has glitched. Okay. And now, still 0. Wow. You missed that I changed the fuel gauge with another one. And it's still not displaying the SoC temperature, which is alarming, to be honest. Battery info. Okay, here we go. Battery info, all for you. What do you see that I don't see? So you think it's because of the M92? Bad brand new fuel gauge, probably from AliExpress. No, this is coming from all donor boards. All my parts are basically coming from donor boards. But I think even the other fuel gauge was totally fine at this point, and it has nothing to do with the fuel gauge. But with the communication lines, yes. Do you want me to replace the M92 now? What do you think, guys? Do we want to replace the M92? Which, by the way, it is totally working, because it will show 15 volt, it will show the charging current, it will show everything. Okay, now it is going, you see, 15 volt, 460 milliamp, and it's showing that is charging with 500 milliamp. But because the battery, no, this is not the battery temp. This is not the battery temp. This is the SoC temp. Is the APU temperature. So the APU is not able to report any temperature. The battery temperature is based on a thermistor, which is connected internally of the battery, and is the fuel gauge is measuring the resistance across this thermistor to determine the temperature of the battery. So this is not good, but I don't know why he's doing this.
M92 seems totally fine. I can reball even the APU, but I don't know if this will do any difference. And at this point, I know there is something in the I2C line. Yeah, probably yes. And because he's showing the percentage, and he's showing the battery. He show what happened? Oh, maybe I dumped some stuff. Okay. It's showing the percentage. It's showing the temperature. But it's reporting one error here, which I never seen before. But I never use Hecate so much, so I don't know what this means. And I didn't see any console with no temperature, but is reporting percentage. Normally, when the fuel gauge is not working, is reporting no battery percentage, so zero, completely zero, and also zero temperature. But in this case, there is something different, which I need to investigate. Again, I can try and fit another M92, but I think there is no issue in that. We have 15 volt. It's just the APU is not reporting back for some reason the temperature, which is why is reporting error and it's not booting. Wait there, guys. I need to answer a call. I am back. Yeah, SoC temperature has to be reported, otherwise the console will never boot. If it was M92, the console would have showed an error typically. I seen other content creators or video on YouTube in general that when you have a second logo stack, sometimes it is also an M92 issue. But I checked all around and there is nothing wrong, literally nothing. Temperature is fine. I don't know. Maybe it's vented. No, just a tiny bit. Yeah, the console is vented very slightly. Not super. It is not super straight. And maybe there is an issue under the APU balls. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. If I reload maybe. Yeah, reload. If I press and I reload, no, it will not do anything if I press and reload. So I don't think it's a BGA issue. I can be wrong. No, it's not external. USB PD is the M92. Can it disrupt the I2C? Yes. Yes, because M92 is connected to the I2C line also. I can try. Maybe if I remove the chip, it should tell me an error. Yeah, let's do that. So power off, power off. I will not change the chip, but I will remove the chip and see the behavior of the console. Hi Ding. Hi Garber Ding. Sorry, usernames are so difficult to say sometimes, especially for me. All I can do is Google. Yeah, I Google it a lot. So don't be afraid of Google it. Use Google as much as you like. It may contain or give you good information. Yeah, removing the M92. Your existence is enough. Yes, I agree. Removing the M92. Now chip is removed. Everything is fine. Nothing is breached. Retrospect up there. Nothing else. Yes, totally fine. Google say TPM. There is no such chip. TPM 451 chip. The temperature sensor is built inside the SoC on a switch. Okay, let's try again. See what is happening. I think we can boot in Hecate anyway. Yes. And see if that changed something. Maybe it now is reporting the temperature or not. That is a good way of testing, yes.
Nah, it's not so frustrating. It requires time, yes, but not so much. You know, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 cable, and that is it for testing. So it's not a big of a deal. Okay, board is a bit warm, but not worrying. So this stuff, this stuff, this stuff. Nice. Now we can jump into Hecate again. Surely it take a lot of no, it's now reporting the temperature. So the M92 was not the problem, was not the component that was giving the issue. That is giving the issue. Right next to the backlight connector is T451. Okay. And you think that one is broken? Well, that can be the first time. I don't know if anybody had this issue before. You see, okay. Because right now console info battery, it will display the error because the M92 is not possible to. Yeah, but it's not. I reckon this is the point. If the I2C line is somehow defective or corrupted or partially shorted, anything on the line can give you trouble in the reading and giving you the informations. So the M92 PD information are not available because the I2C line have some problem. Doesn't mean the M92 is defective. I can install another one, but I don't think it will change this behaving. The USB PD IC info. All right. Close. So power off. Powering off. So there is a next to the battery, the backlight connector, there is an IC. The RASI says microscope. We can go under the microscope. So that should be the chip T451. Here we go. So Google was correct. There is no liquid damage that I can see. Not any trace of liquid damage. Maybe it's faulty. We can change it. What do you want, guys, me to do? We want me to change this IC? Do we want to change that IC and see what is happening? And install back the M92? Of course.
Swap Google. The T451 communicate with the main system via an SM bus I2C interface. Check the continuity of the data SDI and clock lines running to the chip. Well, is something hard to do. Replace this and slap M92. Yeah. Check the two resistors first. I agree. We can check. We can check the two resistors. Absolutely. So going into resistance, expected value, I don't know. Truly, I don't know. So from this point, can you please stay? To this point, we have 100 ohms. Seems healthy. And on this line, we have 100 ohms. So it is healthy. So the resistors are healthy. It's looking in good condition, yeah. But this one is powered by what? But maybe it's powered by the 3.3. Let's check. Let's check with the board view. What do you think? So the 3.3 volt is coming from there. Yeah. So here is the 3.3. The 3.3, is it going even into this chip? Yes. You can see. It's going into this chip, which is having the 2 net and is going out to the 2 resistors. Maybe this chip got faulty when there was the corrosion. You concur. I concur too. So maybe it is faulty. And you teach me something new, Rasi, and Google, because I didn't know about the T451 chip, which was the one responsible for the temperature sensor of the SoC. But obviously it's going even on the Wi-Fi AC. Maybe not get powered now. No, I don't think so, because the 3.3 volt line is not fused or anything. So it's coming straight out and it's going everywhere. There are no other broken vias that you might find, responsible to. I can check, of course, by powering on the console and check if I have 3.3 on pin 1. But you Googled it, Rasi, so thank you to you, because Google cannot reach me or phone me to say, yeah, you need to check this. Would be crazy though. Nah? So, going back to this, but without this. We can power on, absolutely, with Hecate. No, even with that. No, with Hecate is still going with the 3.3 volt. So I will launch Hecate, and I will. The problem is that is under the SD card, basically. So it's a bit fiddly to test. Let me see. So I will power on the console now. Hecate is showing. Okay. And now I will check for power. So voltage, sticking the probe somewhere. Yeah, here. And checking the pin number 1, which is this one. We can see we have 3.3. So the chip is receiving power. But if that is true and is not reporting the temperature because it's defective, you know, maybe we can solve this issue by replacing the chip. Power off, power off. Okay, I have another half an hour, guys, available for test this theory and see what is happening, and then I have to go because I have something else to do. I need to fix other consoles, obviously. I need to call some customers. I need to make dinner. You're watching the stream in Metro. Oh my goodness. Are you able to hear properly? Because I'm assuming Metro is a bit noisy. Yeah, let's hope. Okay. How can I remove this chip though? Because it's having basically the connector on the other side. Okay, I need to go outside the frame. Sorry for you guys, but I need to go with the heat from under the board to remove this chip. Otherwise, I will do a mess. So bear with me. Bear with me. Be patient. I'm coming with the hot air. From the back of the board. I should have removed the nozzle. It's taking too much time for my liking. Yeah, it's a big plane. Need to remove the nozzle. Here we go. Nozzle removed. Now the entire area will heat up properly. And allow me to remove the chip quicker. Here we go. Removed. Nice. Now I need another chip, which I can find here, obviously. So I will use the same method. Air from below. outside of the screen, unfortunately, because I don't have a camera that can reach the edge of the table, of the bench. Chip is removed. Now I'm placing the chip back in the not working board. Here we go. Fantastic. Has it in position properly. So everything is fine. This is the donor board. This is the console that we need to fix. I will put back the M92 chip now, so we can be sure. Putting the chip back, eating from top, we don't care. I don't care, because I can do that. Done. Nice. So the chip is all the chip is in position. No, it's 8-pin and no middle ground. Obviously, ground is present in one single another pin. Now let's see what it's doing. If we have the temperature back or not. Board is hot, but in the meantime, it can cool down. As we are sitting down the board. Power button. LCD. Backlight. A Joy-Con rail. And that is it. The game reader. And the board is still hot. Let it cool down in front of the fan. let's see what is happening. If this is not working, I will probably be giving this console a no fix, because I'm thinking I can still, you know, do some other stuff around. Maybe removing the Wi-Fi IC or replacing the M92 or do other stuff. Or even I can attempt a total APU transplant, you know, on this board, maybe, potentially, you know. This is a good board. I think so. Potentially, this is a good board and has nothing wrong with it. And I can install the APU here. Obviously, with all the other, is missing this. Is missing the port. I need to fit a port. Is missing the M92, but I don't care for now. Is obviously I need to refit back this one and see what it's doing. So with another complete new board, if the error is still there, mean is internal in the APU at that point. And I can confirm 100% because this is another board. There's no way that it's having the same issue across two different boards. Nice. But in that moment, I prefer to have this board as my board. So I will buy this console from the customer, or I will replace this console for the customer. So I have this one, and I will play with this. Yeah, let's hope it's working. Let's hope it's giving us a reading of the temperature of the SoC, and hope it is also booting, maybe. Okay. So, oh, it's missing the SD card. Yes, it will tell you, yeah, failed to init. There is no SD card because I forgot to plug the SD card. Here we go. Press any key. Okay. Reload. Let's see. Should be reloading now. Yeah, Ekate. And would you look at that? Is reporting 0.0. Yeah, I'm really thinking that this is an APU issue. This is an APU issue. Okay. That's a very cold CPU. Yeah. Battery info. Yeah, okay. Can give you the battery info. Battery info. Still the same. Still the same, man. Haven't changed anything. We tried, guys. We tried. But this console don't want to be fixed. One single thing I can do, one single thing, is by looking at the stuff in there, and we say that basically this pad and this pad, no, sorry, this pad and this pad are the clock and data for the I2C line. where that line is going. I want to see that line where it's going. So it is going there on the M92, but I don't know on which pin, on the second pin, okay? And this pin, which, not this one, not this one, here we go. And it's going to those two pins, okay. So I want to measure those two pins in diode mode to see if they are the exact same, because normally I would expect clock and data to be the exact same, like data plus and data minus for the CPU, you know. Let me remove now. We see an underfield gauge, probably internal damage to trace or vias or something like this. Yes. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. So power got in places where was not supposed to go, and it fried the I2C clock and data lines. Right, let me check under the microscope because I'm blind, like Bodger. And I need a microscope so I can see better what is happening with my probes. So I think for this revision, obviously we can check directly on this pin, but I think this pin, this pad is connected to this pin. Let's test. So resistance mode from let me see if I can do this without touching anything else. From this to there, yes. So, and this, okay, so we can check. This is data or clock, and we have 20.8 kilo ohms, and this is another line, and we have 24. So we have a 4 kilo ohm, basically 4 kilo ohm difference. It doesn't look like much, you know, but I can certainly do something. If we go in diode mode and we go check again, we have 0.388, 39. Okay, and if we go check there, we have 40.3. So there is a difference, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like this. Okay, Byteron, thank you for coming. Let me see. I have a working board. I know I have a working board here. What is the working board? This is good. This is good. Do we have anything? Yes. Yes, I have anything. So I have another board right there, but it's not the same revision though. Okay, so we need to take the information with a pinch of salt. But I marked this as a CPU okay, PCB okay, none was simply dead. So it is working in Hecate, showing everything and stuff. If we check on this console the same two lines, what will be the value? what will be the value? Will be the same, or will be have a slight difference? Okay, so let's check. We have 0.355, and here we have 0.355, so it is exactly the same. Exactly the same. If we go in resistance mode, we have here 22.5 kilo ohm. Wait there, because my multimeter is playing. Can you please read correctly? This is why I don't use resistance mode in, yeah, now is, okay, we have 81.5 kilo ohm, 81 kilo ohm, okay, more or less. And here we have 81 kilo ohm. So it is the same. Resistance across clock and data are the same in this revision. But I wanted to find the other board. Where is the working board? I know I have another working board. And I mark it as good because if I was in need of it, I could have used that one. I lost the good PCB. I lost the good board. Nice. Oh, come on. Where are you? I know you are there somewhere. Are you? No, this is another board. Where is this coming from? But this is a HAC CPU 21, which is it's an HAC and not HAD. Maybe I can use another one of those. Yeah, let me see. HAD. This one is an HAD. This is my console. I don't want to open my console. This one. This is the other my console. Yes. This is an OLED. I don't care about the OLED. This one, HAD. I don't want the HAD again. This one is another OLED board. Okay, good to know. And no, I don't have. Where is the board that I need? I'm losing everything. Again, if it wasn't for my head being attached to my neck, I would have lost even that one. I would have lost even my head. Down the abyss. Problem is I don't want that board because I know I had an HAC CPU 10, which is very, very close to the revision I want. HAC CPU 10. Is this one? Possible. It's possible that is this one. Okay, this is an HAC CPU 10. I done some work in this, but still it should be reporting the same. Okay. So we are now in resistance mode, but I want to see in diode mode again. We have 0.393. And on these, we have 0.393. So it's exactly the same. Guarda, per questa volta puoi anche portarmelo di persona, poi te lo spedisco indietro nel caso, sai, Diego. Immagini, guarda che ti giuro, io mi immagino che dopo un anno e mezzo anche che ormai mi hai portato che cazzo, come si chiama? Mi sfugge pure la parola. Ormai sei diventato un barbone, mi immagino io. Spero che tu ti sia fatto la barba nell'ultimo anno e mezzo. Il rasoio elettrico, ecco. Se no, tu ce l'hai il mio numero di WhatsApp, cavolo. Mandami un messaggio con l'indirizzo. Vengo anche a trovarti volentieri se c'ho l'occasione. Altrimenti ti spedisco la cosa. Yeah, must be the same. That is the issue. Must be the same, and it's not the same. So we have an issue with the I2C clock, but I don't know where is the issue. And it can be the APU, totally. But it can also be, this one is the one I'm fixing, can also be something else, because if I remove the APU and the clock and data is still not correct, mean that the board have an issue. Okay, 0.415. And here we have 4.5. So we have a 0.01 difference, which apparently is not a lot, but it's not the same. Can be anything connected on the PCB itself. Yeah, it can be. Can be anything that use the same I2C clock lines. And by removing the APU, if I see that those two clock lines, those two data lines are still the same or difference, I can rule out the APU or not. Yeah, I need to speak with the customer, because this is not promising. It's not promising. It's not promising at all, guys, unfortunately. So this stream, we learned a few things, which is good. And even though it was not a fix, it's a lot of work. Yeah, I agree, but not for me as a project. If I have this console as a donor, I don't care at that point. I can even do a brain transplant or whatever. Or I can even break the APU in half to discover its secrets. Yeah. So, guys, has been a pleasure for me. I appreciate you all for passing by in the stream. And even though it was a no fix, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoy. And we can see what we can have on the next stream, huh? Maybe another console, maybe a laptop, who knows? Probably a console, because nobody is sending me laptops to fix. Alright, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. See you in the next one. Have a nice evening, have a nice day, have a nice morning in whatever place you are. Bye bye. When it will be the next stream, I don't know. Random time, random day. I don't. When I feel I have something to show that is cool, and interesting, I will show up. Otherwise, it can be 1 week, it can be 7 months. I don't know, and even my life. I am a businessman, so I need some specific moment when I'm free of doing stuff and I can do a live stream. All right. Thank you all for passing by. Again, bye bye.